Greetings and salutations. I'm your host, Dr. Mega, back with another spectacular Halloween review. Tonight we're going to do a double feature, because why not? It's Taco Tuesday. You kiddies deserve something ghoulish, something spooky, something delicious, and extra crunchy. Please add more cheese to that, and a little bit of tomatoes, a little bit of lettuce, and then after that, boom, you got yourself a cruntastic taco. So, let's go digging deep into the trick-or-treat bag. What we got tonight, kiddies? Ooh, first thing we got is a retro pop vinyl of Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead. Looks like season 1. Ooh. One of his Earth anything? Probably not. They're like, God bless America, what are they called? It's Beanie Babies back in those days. That's how bad they are. And it looks like we got some adorable zombie straws. Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's a male and a female zombie straw from 7-Eleven. Very nice. And, ooh, finally, speaking of more Walking Dead, a 300-piece zombie set. Ooh, try to put that together with a straight face. Or no face, whatever you're for. Anywho, so, tonight, I present to you the double feature tonight. So, kiddies, do you like zombies? Well, let me ask you this question first before you start saying yes and screaming out loud. The fact is, imagine if you could talk to the dead, and what would they say? Tonight's creature feature is going to be ParaNorman, my liking pictures. Dear poor Norman can actually speak with the undead. Some call it telepathy, some call it a curse, some kids just call it plain weird. Poor Norman decided to go on in a strange, lifestyle that he thinks he's not weird, but he actually has a slight, what's it called? Like a psychic. He can actually talk with the unparalleled universes and talk with the dead, just walking among us like it's nothing. But they're just living their lives, as a ghost and just doing his thing. And poor Norman finds out there's actually more greater grave than there ever been in this whole entire city. The city looks kind of like Salem, Massachusetts, which is based on a tragic event that happened in the 1600s. Apparently there was a witch trial, and the witch put a curse on the entire town. So Normans have to find out the clue because his crazy uncle is still lurking about, who's pretty much on his last breath, who's played by John Goodman. Well, the book actually turns out to be a way to put the witch back to sleep. There really was a witch after all, apparently. But in this case scenario, we learn that actually this movie divulges into bullying is bad, anti-bullying, because there's a lot of messages that hint at this. Nobody believes Norman, everybody calls Norman weird, but in the rise above it, Norman saves the entire town from this curse of the actual witch. And not only that, but she also resurrects this witch some zombies, so why not? The animation and like-it videos and pictures is just fantastic. Because last night we just did Coraline, and then we did ParaNorman, and of course there's other two that I do recommend is the Box Trolls and Kubo, which are just phenomenal. And there's also a fifth one too on the loose. I still haven't seen that one yet, but I heard it's phenomenal, fantastic. It's the animation. But ParaNorman is probably my favorite out of all of them, next to Coraline. But ParaNorman is just great because it's a kid who's obsessed with monster movies, horror movies, like yours truly. But it turns out the horror comes to his backyard like that. But truth is, we have to understand one thing and one thing only. This craze of the zombies just really rocked out, especially in the 2000s and also the 2010s. And we ask ourselves, where did it come from? Why? Well, we have to go back in time. We have to find out the movie that actually caused the craze. And the funny thing is, it wasn't in the 2000s. It was actually circa 1968. So, the next feature presentation we are going to talk about is none other than the one, the only, Night of the Living Dead from George A. Romero. George A. Romero pretty much groundbreak the entire premise of how zombies should act, how they should move, and how they should attack. Then honestly, it's a great movie of survival, which spawned off of Lord knows how many sequels. But the only problem is about this movie that always cracks me up, this movie is in public domain. And what that means, it means anybody can have access to it for free, no matter what format you're watching it, streaming, anything else. It's pretty much was a movie that was handed down because somebody forgot to put this movie in the copyright. So when you go to the copyright, they're supposed to slap on a seal of say, this is your movie, you get royalty fees, all that shebang. No, they did not. Poor George A. Romero to this day is still a legend, God rest his soul wherever he is. Hopefully he's undead, and just like he was in that one game. But anyway, the premise of it is basically just true survival. And the funny thing is, this movie has inspired Lord knows how many films because of its style. It was one of a kind. It was just shocking. It was horror. For 1968, this was actually the creme de la creme of woe. Because, yeah, there was a lot going on, and it was right at the key elements of the late 60s. And the hero was just random strangers just locked in a little tiny house trying to fend off the horde of the undead. And basically trying to cope with all the issues that they have. Because everybody knows not everybody can get along. But this movie proves that, yes, it can go to the extreme where you start doing really stupid things in panicky times. Remember, rule number 1, when you get trapped in a house like that, don't panic. 2, search for exits. 3, find any kind of weapon you can get your paws on, or your hands on, whatever kind of claws you got on your kitties. And number 4, know who you can trust. Because trust me, trust is everything when it comes to these kind of survival horror movies. It's funny, it's not even considered a survival horror movie. I mean, now, technically you can, but it's just straight up, it was just simply called horror. But thanks to this movie, it really, really broke down the barriers of what zombie flicks are. But lately, I don't know what the genre is that's really trendy right now. It seems like to be ghost movies now, with Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring, Annabelle, spooky dolls, stuff like that. We had spooky dolls before, they were called Chucky. And Chucky was lovable and laughable, and he had great quotes, and he was just, you don't mess with the Chuck, it was great. But now it's just creepy silent dolls. Like, the silent treatment is not really creepy to me, it just bores me to tears, but, then again, if you have just a random doll just lurking around. But anyway, I digress, but, that's just the whole shebang and the whole schlock of it, I guess. I gotta admit, though, it's always a blast to do this. This is the 8th night, we're almost done, kiddies, we only got, 5 more videos to do, and after that, we're gonna kiss Halloween goodbye. Or will we? Who knows, if time willing. But I am Dr. Mega, and as always, I want to salute you all. Just thank you again for tuning in. And if you haven't already, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. I'm always ready to get more viewers and more entertainment, because I like to keep my audience riveted. But you gotta do me one favor, and one favor only, and that is, stay spooky, my friends.